Here we go again then for another round of Grand Prix action. The conditions are just right to spice up the racing in this part of the world today, and we're all itching to get underway. The drivers will be racing here on Yas Island today through 21 corners and a lap distance of around 3.4 miles. There are plenty of opportunities to pass with long straights and DRS zones in 2 places, at turns 8 and at turn 11. Plenty of close racing then, plenty of speed and plenty of drama to be found in the laps to come. As the drivers complete their preparations down below us on the grid, one man who's no stranger to the pre-race pressure is Anthony Davidson, who joins me in the commentary box today. Great to have you with us, Ant. I'm sure you can tell us all about what goes through a driver's head before lights out.
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle. And the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
With that then, let's run through the grid order. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion. And Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Leclerc, Pierre Gasly and Hulkenberg, Verstappen, Perez, Sainz and Lance Stroll, Magnussen, Grosjean, Daniel Ricciardo and Raikkonen, Van Dorn, Brendan Hartley and Marcus Ericsson, Alonso and Sergei Sorokin rounds off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
So, here we are then, guys. The championship decider between myself and Lewis Hamilton. Also, the title decider between Ferrari and Mercedes. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to round 20 of the F1 2020 Charles Leclerc Mod Career Mode, where today we are here in Abu Dhabi. 4 points is all we need from this Grand Prix. If you missed out on the last one, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. But yeah, all we need is 8th place, and we will both wrap up our Drivers' World Championship, irrespective of where Hamilton finishes in this Grand Prix, and it will also be enough for the team to take home the Constructors' title as well, irrespective of if Mercedes get a 1-2 here today. I am very much looking forward to this. Obviously, we were able to wrap up the title against my teammate Seb in the 2019 Mod Career Mode last year, but 2020, it's been up and down. It's been very intense. Genuinely, I think one of the best title battles I think I've ever had in any series on this channel. It really has been a very fun one to record, and I cannot thank you guys enough for the support over the entirety of this series. But we're ready then for one final time here in Abu Dhabi. We start P4 on the grid. Our title rival is on the row in front of us, but I think we're ready then for the start here in Abu Dhabi. The 5 laps coming on then for the final time in 2020. It is 5 red lights and it's lights out. And away we go then. Not a particularly great start as we head down in towards turn 1. Just obviously want to keep it nice and tidy. Albon tries to turn in a spin there, but can't make it work. And we hold on to P4 off the start of the race. Seb tries to streak away in the distance from pole position. His form has been very good in qualifying in the last few rounds of this series. But yeah, we don't need to take any risks here. This is sort of the weird thing that we need to remember in this race. There's no need to take any risks around here. All we need is P8. I'm pretty certain near enough every Grand Prix that we've finished inside the top 8. We might have had a couple. I think Silverstone was one where it was a little bit ropey, as well as Austria as well. But I think even in those 2 Grand Prix, we did finish P8 as well. There is no mathematical way as well that Lewis Hamilton and I can tie this World Championship. We've got a 22-point advantage heading into Abu Dhabi, obviously with no bonus points for fastest lap. There is no way we can draw here, so nice to know that, well, potentially nice to know that countback won't come into effect. Obviously Hamilton, he needs to win this race. If he doesn't win, we become world champion, whether we retire, whether we win, whatever happens. Hamilton has to win this race. It's the same, you know, Mercedes need a 1-2 here. I think, sorry, they could get away with a 1-3, but that would also require neither Ferrari to score. So we've thought about this, you know, we've got the maths in our head as well. But yeah, there's no point taking any risks here today, but I would love to finish this World Championship on a high. End of lap 1 though, Seb still leads the way. Coming towards the end of lap 2 though, it seems the top 4 are really making a breakaway from, I think it's Albon and Ocon that are battling just behind us. No idea what's happening to Red Bull here, as we take a little bit of curve under the hotel there. But yeah, Verstappen is, I think, behind a racing point as well as Ocon, so it's all sort of kicking off for Red Bull here, as they just, yeah, seem to have fallen off the ball in these final couple of races. Not too sure what Bottas is doing. As we head on to lap 3, he seems to be a bit worried about it, so he's going to go a bit defensive into 1. Going to try and sit on the apex on the exit, but we get the nose underneath him. And we move ourselves up into P3 of the Grand Prix. Not often do you make moves through there, but Bottas clearly cracking under the pressure. And again, we didn't want to go for any risky moves, but if one opens itself up like that, as we get a nice bit of oversteer, we'll always try and take it. Next up then, title rival Hamilton. End of lap 4. We are pushing like absolute crazy. Just try and stick with Hamilton.
We're coming in this lap.
Team just confirming that we will be pitting into this lap as well. So I don't know if we're going to see Hamilton dive it in as well. Obviously Seb's going to have to go 1 lap longer, so the potential for an undercut is certainly there. But yeah, at the moment we try and get within Hamilton's DRS range as we head down in towards Sector 2. Obviously it's pretty well documented, the AI are very good around Abu Dhabi. It's not a track I ever feel particularly good at anyway. But we're doing alright. Got the DRS this time round. Hamilton's going to close up on Seb. We are hopefully going to close up on Hamilton as well as we head down in towards the first chicane, but no one's going to be close enough to each other as we almost run into the back of Hamilton at the end of the straightaway. We're down in towards Sector 3. We're all concertina up on each other just a little bit. I'm intrigued to know if Hamilton's going to dive in as well here, or if he's just going to try and go 1 lap longer, because that, I mean, that could be quite critical in this race through the final couple of corners. Is Hamilton going to dive it in? Hamilton dives it in as well. So we're going to have to sit behind him as we enter the pit lane. Try not to get a warning, or a penalty even I should say, for pit lane speeding. But yeah, both of the World Championship rivals then dive into the pits on the end of that lap. I would love to get the undercut on him. 2.7. There we go. Why have we lost that much time? Where have we lost all that time from? Come on, Ferrari. It's not what we need. Hamilton's made a good sort of 1.5, 2 seconds on us.
See these tires through to the end
As we head through the famous Yas Marina tunnel. One of the only good things about this circuit in my eyes. And unfortunately for us, Hamilton's going to get out ahead of Gasly. We're going to be stuck behind the AlphaTauri. But he is also stuck behind one of the Alfa Romeos. Yeah, not too sure why we lost so much time in the pit box there, but we did. But again, we don't really need to worry about it. We just got to try and get around all these cars nice and tidily. No need to take risks. Got to keep reminding myself. If it would finish like this, we would very easily be world champion. Up the inside of the AlphaTauri though. See you later, mate. Now all over the back of Kimi Räikkönen as we head down in towards Sector 3. Seb's diving it in. Sure, we're going to see Bottas do the same, but Hamilton, yeah, you can see he's made up a good sort of 2 seconds. And it's only going to be made even worse as we head in towards the final couple of corners. We can't take risks, there's no point. What's Räikkönen doing, though? Just sat in through the penultimate corner. Is he going to dive it in? I think Räikkönen, no, he stayed out another lap. Now, has Lewis, he might have gotten to jump on Seb here. I think we're safe from Bottas. Oh, it's going to be very close to in the top 2, but I think Hamilton's done it. I think he's up. Is he up into the lead of the Grand Prix? He's going to be very close behind Seb. But no, Sebastian holds on to the lead. He covers the overcut.
0.0 seconds.
And now we've got 2 second gaps to the pair of them.
Right, the car behind has come in to put on the ultra soft tyre.
End of lap 7.
Now on the ultra softs.
Jeff talking about everyone being on the same strat as you'd expect. Last few drivers are going to dive it in. Gap to Hamilton down to just, according to that, 1.1. It doesn't look like it to me. But yeah, top 4 are back in formation again, and I mean, the battle between Mercedes and Ferrari has raged on all season. It would be nice. I mean, we've had a couple of brilliant battles in just the last few races. Obviously, Mexico was a brilliant four-way tussle for quite a few laps. Wouldn't it be great just to have one more at the end of what had been a fantastic season? First time in probably since, what, 2010? You've arguably had 2 teams in the championship battle right towards the very end. Obviously, Red Bull back then, able to wrap it up with 1 race to go. Can't remember that. When was the last time we had a constructors battle go down to the wire there? But speaking of that, Hamilton at the inside of Seb might be able to get the run on him on the exit. He should have the DRS as well. Is Hamilton going to be able to make it work around the outside? I think he's got the run. He's just about got the legs on Sebastian there, but we are very, very quickly closing in on the pair of them. On to lap 9, 6 laps to go then of this race. We're all over the back now of our teammate Sebastian, and obviously we need to be careful, because if we come together, say for example we come together, I retire, Seb gets damaged, that means Hamilton's got a nice plain sailing road to victory. So we've got to try and time our moves wisely. Seb's closing in on Lewis as well though, so we're just going to sit back for now. Seb, oh, he almost goes to the send, but thinks better of it right at the last moments. We'll sit back for now, see if Seb can get the run on Lewis. Got the DRS once again. Surely he's going to be able to make big, big gains down this second straightaway. I don't think he's going to be close enough though. Hamilton aware of it. Just defends into the corner. But yeah, we need to be careful. If we can try and get past Seb, we can try and get past Seb. But again, we don't want to risk it. There's far too much on the line to go for anything that isn't basically a guarantee. Especially with the position we're in at the moment. On to lap 10, 5 to go here. We do want to try and think about trying to get a move done on Seb, if possible. But again, we don't need to take risks where we don't need to. We've got a nice gap to Bottas behind us, though. And look at that, Seb closing in on Lewis. We're closing in on Seb as well. We think better of it in towards the corner. We might try and get a switch back on the pair of them, if we possibly can. Get the power down. Not quite able to get the power down that way, in the way I wanted to, but now Lewis has got the DRS. We've got it on the pair of them though. We'll switch to the inside, 3 wide as we head down in towards the end of the second straight there. We just about hold it between the white lines on the entry to the corner. Take a little bit of extra curve so we didn't block them. Seb somehow holds on to P2 as well. That's exactly what we needed. And we are now up into the lead of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix so many times in recent weeks. Obviously Brazil, a big example. Last time we were able to get 1 chance at the race lead, and you got to take it. And then we let those 2 squabble behind us and hope that we can build up a margin. 4 more laps to go of the F1 2020 Charles Leclerc mod career mode. Can we hold on to this? Heading on then to the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix, and like I said, we've seen it quite a few times in recent weeks where we just get that 1 chance to make a breakaway, and it's exactly what we've done again here. We're trying to push a little bit. You know, we want to finish the season on a high, as I'm sure everyone would want to as well, but 2 laps to go here, and unless something goes catastrophically wrong, it's all looking pretty peachy here at Ferrari. I think the only thing that can make it better is if Seb will be able to get past Lewis again, and we can have a 1-2 to finish off the season, but you know, we're not too worried about that. We're doing everything we need to get the results that we need as well. But yeah, down towards the chicane, everything is all looking good. As is tradition then on this channel, we're going to ride on board for the final lap of this series, and what a series it's been at the end of the day. Like I said on the grid, I think genuinely this has been probably the best title battle I've ever had in one of these career mode championships, or any sort of series I've done with the AI. You know, it's swapped so many times between Hamilton and I over the course of the season. You know, after we had that really, really rough European phase where we just kept seeming to, you know, make mistakes, get a bit unlucky, everything like that, I thought we're really, really going to have to try and put our head down and honestly pray for a bit of luck that Hamilton does start to struggle. But since then, obviously we won the last 2 Grand Prix as well. We've had very, very strong results. Obviously a bit of a rough patch back at Japan, but obviously that we've been lucky as well, but that comes with every Formula 1 World Championship. At the end of the day, luck has got to be on your side as well. Obviously some very, very iconic moments, I think, from this championship. Obviously that crazy race back at China at the start of the season. Obviously that collision between Seb and I at Spain, winning the Monaco Grand Prix as well. And then obviously that incredible race for a couple of other drivers, Albon and Ricciardo at Renault, way back at Silverstone, and obviously a couple of more races that have absolutely shone through over the entirety of this series. It's been a really, really good fun one, and the final one we will be doing before the new F1 2020 game releases in just under 3 weeks' time. But down in towards the final couple of corners then, it is going to be race victory here in Abu Dhabi, and more importantly, the drivers and the Constructors' Championship. That is exactly what we needed.
Nice work, that's P1. Race win. Well done.
Here's our winner, pulling their Ferrari into Parc Fermé. What a fantastic race it was. And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
So, here they come now, out onto the podium. Wherever you go, anywhere in the world, the prancing horse flags are dominant in the grandstands, and they're out in force again today. It's Ferrari on the top step once more. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
Lots of drivers impressed me today, Crofty, but I'd say the one who impressed me the most was Daniel Ricciardo.
That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again next time.
So there we are then, the end of the F1 World Championship, and it is victory here in Abu Dhabi at the end of the day. I've got no idea where we picked up that 3-second time penalty from, but I guess it was a good job we were able to build up the margin that we did. Otherwise I would have probably looked quite silly at the end there. But it is one final race victory there. Hamilton comes through for P2, if I'm not mistaken. The top 5 in the championship all finish in the same order that they are in the overall standings as well. They're Seb, the only man to get into the 37s at the end of the day. They're a good job by him, and unfortunately just the wrong place at the wrong time when we were able to get past the pair of them as well there. He rounds out the podium though to finish off a very, very good season with Ferrari, and technically finish his career with Ferrari as well. They're not quite the result I'm sure he would have wanted. I'm sure he would have wanted to go out with a race victory, but finally wrapping up both World Championships, albeit his teammate getting the Constructors and Drivers' Championship as well. But I mean, Seb's done a huge amount to help us over the second half of this season, despite a couple of rough moments as well there. Bottas in P4 was never quite able to touch us after the first few laps there, and Albon in 5th in a bit of no man's land as well at the end of the day. Perez has a good race result in 6th ahead of Ocon, Verstappen and Lance Stroll and Ricciardo. They're rounding out the top 10, so only 5 teams scoring points in the final race of the season there. Sainz just missing out on 11th ahead of Magnussen and the AlphaTauris of Gasly and Kvyat there, with Lando Norris, Kimi Raikkonen, Russell, Latifi, Giovinazzi and Grosjean the last man to finish there. Everyone made it to the end of the final race of the season. That's always nice to see as well. In terms of the standings then, we are officially a 2-time Formula 1 World Champion in the Charles Leclerc Mod Carrimo. They're 29 points clear of Lewis Hamilton at the end of the day. And yeah, like I said, the top 5 in that race finished in that order in the series as well. The Hamilton 330 points to Seb's 278, just 20 clear of Bottas in the end. Albon doing a fantastic job to actually be able to stick fairly close to both of those two, despite the car disadvantage there. He's been so consistent throughout the entirety of this series. They're completely wiping the floor with his teammate Max Verstappen there. What's that? 74 points clear at the end of the day there. Ocon does get the better of his more experienced teammate Daniel Ricciardo there at the end of the day. I'm sure he's going to be one to watch over the next few seasons as well. And despite Perez's really, really good result, he finishes just 1 point off Daniel Ricciardo as well at the end of the season. Magnussen pits Grosjean to that final placing inside the top 10 there with Stroll, Sainz, Raikkonen, Gasly, Norris, Russell, Kvyat, Giovinazzi and Latifi there rounding out the World Championship. Only the two, Giovinazzi and Latifi, not scoring points at the end of the day. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, 49 points clear of Mercedes when all is said and done as well. They're very, very happy with that at the end of the day. Red Bull in a bit of no man's land in P3, ahead of Renault finishing best of the rest once again. They're 54 points clear of Racing Point. A fantastic job by them. Haas have a bit of a recovery to form in P6. They're a long way ahead of McLaren in 7th. Alfa Romeo wins Alpha Team of 2020. They're in P8, 5 points clear ahead of AlphaTauri in 9th there. And Williams, their 3rd season in a row, if I'm not mistaken, are unfortunately finished last in the Constructors' Championship. But thank you all so much for watching this video. Thank you all so much for watching this series on the whole as well. And yeah, like I said, this will be the last career mode that we do before obviously F1 2020 is dropped in just a couple of weeks' time. Make sure you get yourself subscribed. We've got a lot of content planned when that game does drop. But for now though, guys, I will see you all in the next video.